Barca made sure their record stayed with them. Madrid lost the chance to equal them. I don't know what you guys thought about the game.
Yes, you
Okay,
can go ahead.
since the start of the season when Mbappe went to Madrid, obviously there were thoughts that Madrid were going to dominate this season. Of course, when you looked at this Barca side, you thought, now that Madrid have gotten Mbappe, they've gotten another star onto their crown, this would be a straightforward season for them. But Hansi Flick has made changes to this team. He's reinvented the likes of Lewandowski. Rafinha has stepped up in this team. Pedri has come back from injury, and you could see that this team, although they are young, they are very sturdy. You could see in this yesterday's game, in the game against Bayern as well, this team has been able to absorb the pressure, and they've been able to hit teams in their transitions. Actually, yesterday I was really surprised because the kind of quality of football that I saw yesterday, it was really good, really good. I thought this Barca team could have gotten more. They could have gotten more goals against this Real Madrid squad because they had so many chances. Lewandowski missed a sitter. He could have scored a hat-trick in within the 20 minutes of the second half. Yamal as well. I thought he could have gotten something, but you could just feel yesterday wasn't quite his day yet. But the other guys, especially in the midfield and the attack, aside from Yamal, they were quite turned on, and they made sure things happened. Especially when Hansi Flick brought on Dani Olmo and De Jong to play as the sitting DM. Things changed. As much as Madrid had the inaitwa ugali hapo katikati, they just couldn't get hold of the ball. And this offside trap for Barcelona was quite amazing. Yes, most of the times they caught this Madrid offense on offside, but the chances that Madrid got onside, they just couldn't get the job done. Vinicius got some good chances. Mbappe as well. He got, I think, 3 good chances that he failed to capitalize on. And I thought after the game he would be scratching his head thinking, wow, I should have done something. But I think Madrid should have done something in the second half because when they got on, there was this feeling that Madrid were going to do what they did to Dortmund in the Champions League. They were going to...
they come back.
Yes. But somehow Barcelona were just kept going and they made things happen for them. When Lewandowski scored those 2 goals in 2 minutes, it changed the whole atmosphere. It changed the whole atmosphere at the Bernabeu because the Madrid defense was kind of shocked. They didn't expect to concede such kind of goals in such a short period of time. And from then on, I thought, this team can't get going. And this title season, I think Barcelona have it in their hands. I think it's just for them to keep up with the good work. Of course, it's a small bump for Madrid. Yes, they've lost 4-0, especially at the Bernabeu at home. But I think it's a small bump for them. Just time for them to re-strategize because they have other 19 teams to play against. So I'm not too worried for them.
Teddy has gone round the mountain. Teddy, you must not go around the mountain like that.
We are going to Eldoret.
He's gone, then he's gone. So in the end, I don't know what he thinks. He don't know whether he thinks it was a great Barca performance or Madrid should not. I'm not sure what he thinks. In the end, by there, I was like, what is he saying? I'm not sure. Chep.
Yes. For me, I thought, first of all, my prediction, I think earlier before the game started, I thought it would be close. I thought maybe it will either be a draw or if it could be a 1-0 win or 2-0 or 2-1. So I thought it would be closer. I was really surprised because I thought Barcelona were just fantastic. That high line, it kind of reminded me of Liverpool's high line in 20. I think when we won the league, it was similar to that. We had that ability to just get a lot of offsides from our opponents and just control the game. I thought it was really that high line was really good. They had the personnel, they had the players who could take that use that high line effectively. Real Madrid, what really surprised me, it was just again the defense. They just couldn't cope up. Anytime there was that run in, anytime Rafinha got the ball or Lamine, that pace, they couldn't cope up. They were caught all over the place. The first goal, the second, all those goals, they were just all over the place. They couldn't cope up with that. Again, I thought even the substitutions, the Carlo Ancelotti's substitutions didn't do much compared to to the Barcelonas, bringing in De Jong. I thought De Jong was the change that they needed. They needed control, especially in the second half, just to keep the tempo and keep the scoreline how it was. He brought that in the game. He's just brilliant with the ball on his feet. He just can't stay with the ball and control the ball. So I thought that was a big substitution. He did really, really well. And then for Mbappe, for the first time, I think, for me, watching Mbappe, for the first time, I thought he looked out of place. I thought maybe he felt the occasion was too big. And also, as Jemo said, something else as well. He was trying too hard. It's his first Clasico. You want to impress. So he was trying too hard. Those 2 chances or 3 chances he had, any other day or any other time, Mbappe would have scored those. But he felt, I think he was just overwhelmed with everything else. And it couldn't happen. So for me, it's just a brilliant performance for Barcelona. And I thought just Real Madrid just capitulated. They couldn't just get going. There was a lot of imbalance in that Real Madrid team.
First of all, I think the scoreline tells the story of the game, but also doesn't tell the story of the game. I think the 4-0 was good, given the chances that Barca missed.
Yeah.
I think they could have scored at least 2 more.
Yeah.
But also it doesn't tell the story of just how many clear-cut chances that Madrid missed as well.
Yeah.
So that I don't sound like I'm favoring one side, I start with one. Barca played really well. Those kids played well. Flick seems to have figured out how to get the team to play. They have a unity. They are playing. They have more intensity. I think that's the word. They just look more intense, more switched on. Their high press game is working. Like, they have really bought into his style of game. Of course, it helps that Pedri is back fit.
Gavi as well.
Of course, it helps. Yeah, and Gavi is coming back.
Yes.
And then some of the older guys who last season were a bit look much better. Lewandowski looks like a player reborn. Rafinha looks way better than he's ever looked.
Yeah.
So you look at those two and you see they are okay. Of course, at the back, I think Jules Kounde continues to improve. I think ultimately he's a centre back.
Yeah.
But he continues to do well. Of course, Balde is coming up. Lamine Yamal is coming in. You've got to talk about Fermin Lopez, Casado, Kubasi. There's a lot of good things to speak about this team.
Yeah.
You look at this team and you actually wonder, why is that the defender with the blonde hair, the one who was the main guy last season at the back?
Araujo.
He's injured.
Exactly, but they don't seem to miss him. So they just look like a better team, a more united team. They have a unity of purpose and they are playing really attacking football. I like that. They seem to have bought into Flick. Flick has done a good job. I think Madrid lost this game, one, because Mbappe was trying too hard. Like you said, it's his first El Clasico.
Yeah.
And you try too hard until you overthink everything.
Yes.
Because he had maybe 3 one-on-ones.
Yes.
Yes.
3 one-on-ones.
Yes.
There is no way he doesn't score one. He didn't score any.
Yeah.
Especially there is the one, the output from Vinicius in the second half. He just couldn't seem to sort himself out.
Yeah.
And that is normally a sign of someone who's either trying too hard to impress or trying too hard to fit in, or just not letting. There's this phrase of let the game come to you.
Yeah.
I felt like he was trying to force the issue.
Yeah.
And when you try to force the issue, at times the issue refuses for you to force it.
Yeah.
That I thought. And also, guys, and I know you're going to say it's an excuse, but listen, La Liga is not Ligue 1. With all due respect to the French league. So Mbappe is also having to get used to having to play at 100% every single game. Because no matter how hard we try and lie to ourselves, in PSG, you could coast at 60 and you'll be fine. But now he has to. And this level everyone else is playing at a high level.
Yeah.
You have to. So you have to sort of go back to playing at that level.
Yeah.
Learn how to play. He's never played at that maybe for France at the World Cup.
Probably.
But he's never had
for
to
the
play
club
at optimum level for 38 games.
Yeah.
So he's having to do that at a much higher level with a lot more notice. But guys, there is no way I am judging Mbappe by last night's game. I am not even going to judge him by the whole of this season. And I refuse this argument, he waited too long before going. He is only 25. Cristiano went there at 23. Yes, he is only 25.
Yeah.
He could easily play for another 12 years at the top.
Yeah.
He could easily play to 36, 37. Lewandowski is 36. He could easily. So it's early. I just think he needs to get used to it, and he has to get used to the pace and everything of that level. Secondly, Madrid got their lineup a bit messed up.
Yeah,
True.
agree.
Him coming means they have had to rejig their team. They have had to figure out, okay, what do we do with Bellingham, and what do we do with Tchouameni, and what do we do? So they play a loose 4-4-2 generally.
Yeah.
But where do we play Bellingham? I think Bellingham on the right is wasted.
It was especially in this game, it just...
He's wasted, and he's been unhappy, and we've had stories that he's unhappy, and you could just tell he's unhappy.
Yeah,
he needs to be
frustrated.
moved back to where he belongs.
Yeah.
But where he belongs, they are not sure what to do. Now, yesterday they went for Braun, like Teddy said, Camavinga, Tchouameni, Valverde,
Yes,
and Bellingham. So what they did, they put in a lot of physicality and strength, but they sacrificed silk.
Yes,
Creativity.
there are a lot of athletes.
Yes, yeah, there's no silky, there's no subtleness, there is no through the eye of the needle pass. I can't remember what the phrase is, but there's no one to do that.
Creativity.
Yeah.
That's why they had to bring in Modric, and because the commentators kept saying, when are you going to bring on Modric?
Yeah.
When is he going to come on? So I feel like that is the one thing they lack. Like they went too much ballast. Having said that, if Mbappe just converts the first chance
Yes.
or the second chance, it's a whole different ball game.
Changes the whole
Yeah, because
dynamic.
it's at home, the crowd.
It's
will
a whole different
go.
ball game.
Yes.
Because this Madrid team never dominates you. This Madrid team plays the way it played versus Dortmund. 2-0 then he plays like, and that's what they did yesterday, but they couldn't get the goals, but they conceded.
Yeah.
So I look at it, I say yes, it gives Barca a huge big step,
boost, yeah.
because now they have 6-point gap between them and Madrid.
Yeah.
And they probably will have the head to head.
Yeah.
But I look at it, I'm like, I think the game was, it's one of those things where I'm left not sure.
Yeah.
I think this team will be better.
Do you think they missed out really badly on Rodrigo?
Because he's better on the right.
Yes.
He's better on the right than Bellingham. And when he plays there, Bellingham in the middle, it would have been Bellingham and instead of Camavinga, it would have been Bellingham and Tchouameni.
Yes.
Yes.
Maybe it's better.